Hi everyone, welcome to August 2017. Wanted to pop in here real quick and do just a little bit of a hello. Let you guys know that as of now, private readings are back to normal. Thank you so much to all of those that ordered a private reading and put up with my nonsense. I had just a whole bunch of stuff happen right before I left Indonesia, which was like so typical of the whole experience there. Dealing with immigration. They held my passport hostage for like a month, and it was like the day before I had to go when I finally got it. So I spent like 3 days waiting, systems down in Jakarta and all this, like, I don't know, it was just like a total mess. But so thank you for those that put up with me. And yeah, so it'll be back to normal. Also, quick announcement for freebies for Leo, okay? Every month, whoever's birthday month it is, I will be offering free solar return reports. So if you order a tarot card reading, I'll include, it's like a 20-page report that talks about the themes for the upcoming year based on your birthday and your residence location, okay? So it's kind of like a snapshot analysis of things that you can expect with your specific transits and things like that. It's kind of a cool report. I ran one for myself for being here in Budapest on my upcoming birthday in September. And I don't know, it's kind of cool to look at. So that's available for you as well. I'm gonna be doing a Bali video, another one. I know I already did one regarding the astrocartography, and I'm gonna do another one now that I know a little bit more about it. Kind of analyzing what happened when I was there and kind of associating it with transits, things like that. And also being here in Budapest and how it really is going to be affecting my chart. And like I said, I am offering astrocartography analysis in a more simple form for some of you who are interested in vacationing or moving to a new city and whatnot, just so that you can kind of get an idea of how the planets will shift and the possibility of having different aspects of your personality kind of be activated based on where your planets are located. So it's kind of a cool thing. And I will be doing that probably in the next month, as well as my new astrological video for Venus. I did one on Chiron already, and I have a whole new format that I'm going to do for Venus, which I'm pretty excited about, because the first one was kind of just like haphazard, just kind of threw it together, but to hopefully make it more valuable for you so that you can understand how your Venus affects the way you love and interact with people and the way that you appreciate beauty and life in general. So keep your eyes open for that, and that's it. I'll let you guys go. Thanks so much. Bye. Hello Cancer, how are you? Welcome to your August 2017 reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and just get started. Okay, I've already been shuffling, so we're all good. Okay. And the Death card. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, totally doesn't surprise me. Oh, just so you guys know, I'm at an Airbnb, and this is really the only way I could set up my camera. I know it's a little bit far and there's shadows and all that, but hopefully you guys can see. I'll try to hold them up if I remember. But I'm using the regular deck, so a lot of you already know the pictures. So we've got the Death, not a surprise at all. You know, transition, change, perfectly indicative of everything that everyone's been going through over the past 6 months. Just a very significant restructuring and emergence of becoming essentially a new being, a new entity, having new philosophies in life, having new journeys in front of you. It still feels really hard. Likely it still feels like you're kind of in that dark place. Like you don't know where this is going, like you're still in your cocoon, you haven't quite emerged as the butterfly yet. But you know what? It's happening. This metamorphosis of your soul and your whole being is underway. Like it's moving forward, and you have nothing but, you know, the sun on the horizon there just waiting for you. Okay. And the Four of Wands. For a Cancer to have the 4, which is the 4, you know, 4 representing foundations. Also, it's your house, right? The ruling house, ruling the 4th house of the astrological wheel, which is that roots. Yes, you have been ripped by the roots out of the ground. Yes, that's what the death process is. It's taking everything, all of your belief systems, and putting it through the ringer and testing it and challenging it, and, you know, really causing you to really think twice about it, and asking you to revise a lot, you know, and it can go very, very far back, you know, and it really does shake up that stability of yours. And some of you maybe really have been retracting. Some of you really may have been, you know, in that deep hermit mode and kind of just like keeping everyone at a distance, keeping everyone at bay. Maybe only letting people that you really love and care about into your little circle while you're going through what it is you're going through. It's a very individualized process. Yes, I mean, here's your guard. Doesn't surprise me, another number 4 in your foundation. So you have a lot of cards talking about your foundations. And I think you're really skeptical. You're really skeptical of this new process, of this new phase of where you're going. If you're single, you're very skeptical of other people. Like, you're not about to just let anyone into your life. You're not about to just, you know, open those big crab arms around, you know, crab arms of yours and wrap them around somebody. No, it's a very particular and a very specific process. And the Fool. Look, I think you really just dove in, you know, like I think that you were faced with this death process and you just, there wasn't resistance there. You're still feeling in the dark, and you may continue to still feel in the dark, okay? Still feel like you just don't, what did I just already say? You're still in that cocoon. You haven't emerged as the butterfly yet. The only time that you're going to have the ability to emerge as the butterfly is when you have fully attained that new level of understanding. And it's very difficult to attain true understanding when you're in the death phase. So it's kind of like a catch-22, right? It's kind of working against you a little bit, but it's natural. It's kind of like, you know, when you're growing a business, it's like, do you have enough cash? Do you have enough people? Do you have enough, like, do you have enough customers coming in versus how many people? And it's like that constant balancing act all the way up until you kind of reach that point of comfort, okay? And right now you're balancing wisdom and learning what you're supposed to learn with the changing, restructuring process. And it's just like got to work its way up, and you got to balance this one and then bring this one up and then this one and then this one. And it's just like, but eventually you'll get there. You absolutely will get there. And then you will be asked to act upon this newfound wisdom and to actually do the things that you are required to do. Okay, because the Hermit, even though it is the card of Virgo, okay, and I understand, you know, why, sometimes I understand why, but it's also the number 9, which is associated with the 9th house of the zodiac, and it's ruled by Sagittarius. And when you think of what Sagittarius is, the card of wisdom, or the sign of wisdom and higher level understanding, it's ruled by Jupiter, it's expansion, it's travel, it's open-mindedness, it's philosophy, all these things, which are somewhat foreign to the native Cancer, you know, because you're very much not, you know, you're very much home and connected with family and love and all this. So it is a little bit of a foreign calling. The universe has called upon you to do something that is a little bit uncomfortable. It is what it is. You know, we all have to go through this multiple times, I don't know, throughout the year, throughout our lives, whatever. So, 5 of Pentacles coming out. Interesting, I pull a similar kind of reading to Gemini, actually. You know, whatever is happening, whatever it is you're going through, it does seem like you're feeling a little bit either rejected or feeling forgotten, feeling like you are in lack of some kind. 9 of Wands, another number 9. And yes, putting up that protection, of course you are. There's not any surprise there as to why. Being very careful about who you engage with, who you speak to, But again, there's no fear here. I don't feel that there's fear. I don't feel that there's resistance. It's just, you're just going through the process. You may be feeling a little bit lonely going through this process. You might be feeling like you are, you know, because this is, no one can live your life for you. It's something that you just got to do. And you're doing it. In terms of relationships, you know, if you are in a committed relationship, the only thing that I could say is that you may be cutting people off a little bit too much. People that want to be there, people that want to love you, people that want to support you. And they really do want to help you, you know, so it'll be in your best interest to at least communicate and say, look, you know, I'm just going through something and I love you, but I gotta figure this out on my own, and I just really need this space to do that. You know, and kind of maybe letting them know why certain behavior is occurring. Yes, I'm feeling very ungrounded. This is your environment. Feeling, I don't think that's you. I think that might be someone else. Maybe it is your partner. Maybe it is a friend or a colleague or even a mother of some kind. You know, this is the card of Capricorn. I can't remember which sign it was, but I also had a card. I think it was Aries, actually. And I had this card of Virgo also, which was the Knight of Pentacles, also in the reversal position here. I feel like the earth signs are being very realistic, but not in like a nice way. You know, they're the typical earth sign, a little bit judgmental, judgy, demeaning kind of way. And they can be holier than thou. So if you are dealing with an earth sign who is behaving this way, it's so important for you to not be too sensitive to what they say, because again, especially a Capricorn energy who can be so just like, I'm going to say what I want and I don't care. I really don't care how it affects the other person's feelings. Like, because Capricorns can be kind of cruel, you know, and so can Virgos. And it's a reflection of what they're going through, especially if it is, you know, I'm not saying you're all dealing with Capricorns, but that Capricorn energy, maybe they have a rising or a moon or a Venus or something in that sign. And you know what? Capricorns have been going through the ringer. Like, I can't even begin to tell you. Every month I'm like afraid to do the Capricorn reading, because it's just been month after month after month after month of just like the Devil and Nine of Swords and the Tower and just all the most difficult cards that you could possibly get. And you know, they're going through something. So their meanness, their cruelty is not actually, doesn't actually have anything to do with you. And I am asking you, in your newfound wisdom that you are acquiring, to be kind. Don't, you know, let them walk over you, and don't let them treat you like garbage, but you know, you need to defend yourself, but at the same time to keep an open mind, to realize that they are also going through these really fundamental changes, and they too are becoming very different people, and their cruelty just is just it's a display of what they're going through on the inside. Doesn't excuse it, they shouldn't be doing it, but earth signs, they're kind of the problematic ones this month. Last month it was the air signs. This month I think it's the earth ones, because you know, the stars are just like giving them all the junk. Okay, even here, like you, Cancer, like you're afraid of what's going to manifest at this time, because like I think that you just feel not ready. Like it's almost as though, universe, please don't give me anything new. I can't handle it right now. I don't really even know what I want. And because you don't know what you want, the universe can't give you this anyway. Be careful of any desire to sort of resist, you know, your intuitive side, to resist that connection with, you know, the star, because the stars do guide you. They do. Stars are what? They're just like the sun. So it's the light of a billion suns, you know, and the guidance of our celestial entities is, you know, we must have faith that our angels are around us, and have faith that we are being guided in exactly the right way. And to have faith that in this moment, regardless of how it feels, that you actually are doing exactly what you should be doing, which is making choices based on what the universe is giving you. And right now the universe isn't going to give you anything new, because it knows that you're still processing or maybe reeling from the last choice that you made, you know? And the Hierophant, which is that breakdown of standards and belief systems. You know, it's important for you to remember that when you, I guess, incarnated into this physical world, that you made a covenant, you made a promise, you made an agreement with your soul. Like, okay, soul, if you want to take this physical body and you want to live in this physical world and live in this existence, then you're going to need to abide by certain rules. You're going to need to live a good life, be a good person, be good, be moral, be kind, but also, you know, don't let people walk all over you, and stand up for yourself, and enjoy, and, you know, whatever. And sometimes, you know, the social and cultural conditionings that we go through as a child kind of, you know, molds us in a way that is not necessarily what you really truly fundamentally believe as a conscient being. Okay? So you're kind of getting back to those fundamentals. You're getting back to that original covenant, that original promise that you made to yourself, and realizing that a lot of the things you believed may have been wrong, and realizing that a lot of things you were taught, there may even be a lot of anger toward the system, okay, however that speaks to you, your public education, your religious, your religion, your family, you know, whatever it is. And you're like, wow, like mom and dad, I can't believe you taught me that. That's so wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm in this Airbnb and people walk past my window and it's like right on the first floor, and so people keep looking. So if I pause, it's because I'm probably like ducking, and so they can't see me. It's so awkward. Okay, 3 of Wands. Waiting, you know, you're waiting for something, waiting for an opportunity to change, waiting for an opportunity to explore, right? There's that explorative energy about you right now. That expansive energy. Oh, I love the Hangman. You know, the Hangman, because I'm kind of relearning the tarot, okay? And when we reference this card with the Kabbalah Tree of Life, or Kabbalah, however you prefer to say it, this is actually associated in the position that's you know, dedicated to wisdom. And you have a lot of, you know, those wisdom, or you have the 2 like wisdom energies. Wisdom is the action part. And even though this is like inaction, right, or not acting, that's in your past, and this is the active part. So you have knowledge, which is the input. You have understanding, which is here, and then you have the wisdom, which is acting upon that understanding and living to a higher degree, higher quality, higher connection with that, you know, ethereal self. okay? And which is why the covenant, the promise that you made here is showing up, because you're in that process of realigning with that original promise that you made with your soul. And I know that I might be sounding a little bit crazy, and I know that a lot of tarot readers are like, oh, this guy's cheating on you, you need to get away, and oh, you need to do this, and you know, here's a third part and all this. But you know, all of those things seem to kind of disappear, and all of those things kind of tend to become, I don't even know how to say it. They all kind of tend to become more trivial, I guess, if you will. And not to say it's not painful, not to say it doesn't hurt, not to say that it's not a part of your life and it's a part of your human experience here. But when you start to put things in perspective from a very, very high level, and when you think about what these major arcana cards are really actually trying to tell you, because these are, you know, very secretive images that were created very, very specifically to pass down Hermetic wisdom, you know, from the ancient Hermetic traditions and the ancient Egyptians, you know, the numbers being all associated here. It's like very secret messages coming out here. And none of it has to do with who's cheating on who and who's hurting who and money coming in and, oh, you're going to have an expense. No, because ultimately those aren't really the things that life is about. It's what life contains, but it's not what life is really about. So my tarot style might be changing in a way that I think is going to alienate a lot of people, but I do hope that it helps put those mundane things, the things that are making you feel this way, making you feel like you're being left behind, you're being rejected. But look, your soul is evolving. That's what death is. It's the breakdown and regeneration of belief systems that the systems in which you were born were created. You know, we're talking about high level stuff. And, you know, governments, religious, all parents, education, all this stuff. So, I don't know, I totally went on a tangent, but I hope that you guys find some value in it a little bit, because here you are letting go, another 4. Do we pull out all everything but the 4 of Swords? But letting go of that comfortable foundation, you know, and letting go of what you have created in order to make space for what the universe can create. You know, I think it's time for us to realize, you know, our real responsibility here. Our real responsibility is to be accepting what the universe has to give us. Right now, the universe isn't going to be giving you cancer or anything, because you're still changing, and you're going to be getting to a point where all this stuff is going to be flooding in. I totally went on a tangent there, guys. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm like realizing that I probably should explain to people how my tarot is changing based on my education and what I'm going through right now in terms of learning. And like right now, there's just not space for this. There's not going to be space until you let something go. And letting go of what? Letting go of a belief about something. Letting go of something that you held so closely to your heart for so long, and now it's being challenged, and you're having to completely restructure and rebuild. Okay, with a higher level of understanding of how life works, how this all goes together. 10 of Pentacles. Look, you have so much already, okay? And this kind of goes to family, it goes to finance, it goes to all realms, your ability to manifest whatever it is that you want. I think you see yourself as being very grateful. I think you see yourself as being very lucky. I think you see yourself as being wealthy, maybe not in terms of like having $1 billion sitting in the bank, but wealthy with the real wealth of life. Wealthy with love, wealthy with goodness, wealthy with comfort, okay? And even if there is lack, I don't think that you have lost sight of what you do have, which is a beautiful thing, and it's a beautiful place, because once you let go of whatever it is you need to let go of, you're only just going to have more of this, more money, more family, more love, more goodness, more comfort, more kindness. Okay? And this is not easy, but it's the journey of your soul. Again, that's what tarot is. It's the journey of the Fool. And what is the Fool? It's your soul before it enters consciousness. That's what it is. Guided by the sun, which is essentially God or the creator or the universe, okay? And he's got your back. He's not going to let you fall. He's not going to let you, I say he because it's the solar and that usually represents the divine masculine, okay? He's not going to let you stumble and fall. King of Swords. There are people here in your environment. I don't think that they are you. Okay, so either it's one person or it's two people. Not the nicest person or nicest people. You may have a lot of harsh energies right now. A lot of judgmental energies. A lot of judgmental. Don't stress. Like totally whatever judgments are being projected onto you, just realize that it's someone else projecting them and it's reflecting back, you know, and they're using you as their sounding board. And yeah, it sucks, and yeah, it's not fair, but it has nothing to do with you. Look, you're on your own thing, you're doing your own thing. It's so important for you to, I really do believe, to communicate and to talk to the loved ones in your life, to really explain what it is you're going through. And even if, like, I made it really dramatic. Some of you, it won't be so dramatic, right? But to really let them in on your little secret, to let them in on what's going on, so that they don't become, you know, even more harsh with you, because it can be very frustrating dealing with someone who's just kind of in their hermit darkness and like shunning the world, because sometimes we can really do this to ourselves too, because you need it, because you need to be isolated, you need to be alone. Cancer, that's a very water energy thing to do. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, that's very common. And you're just trying to make sense of stuff. You're trying to figure out how you feel about stuff, because this is not easy. It's really not. Your illusions are shattering, okay? You are becoming more individualized. You're breaking free of what the world has always told you you need to be, and becoming who you actually are. I don't care what age you are. I don't care if you're 18 years old or 78 years old. There is transition happening. You are changing. Your thoughts and your patterns are becoming more a part of you. Your thoughts and patterns are becoming different, and those new beliefs are becoming more a part of you. Okay. And Justice reverse. Major Arcana coming out reversed in the center. Justice reverse is, you know, definitely that feeling like something unfair happened. Look, like I said, the universe isn't going to give you anything. It's not going to give you any experience. It's not going to put you through anything that's hard unless there was something on the other side of that. There always is. I mean, when you look back in your life and you're like, oh yeah, I really do see why that happened. You know, just because you're in the thick of it and you're like so in this darkness, you're, like I said, you're still in the cocoon. So you can't really see what's outside of that cocoon, but there's a whole world out there, you know, and there is a way out. And there's things waiting for you. They're waiting for you to get through it. You can't force it. Okay. Justice. This is natural law, God's law, the law of consequentialism, whatever you want to call it. It's doing its thing. It's playing out. Okay. We got a couple cards that really want to come out here. 8 of Cups. Here's another earth sign. Some of you really may be dealing with an earth sign, like really judgmental. I think they do really want your best interest at heart, though. They really do want to see you succeed. They want to see you push through. You may have been, you know, a little bit on you know, because like I said, you kind of jumped into this with that Fool energy, like, yeah, sure, let's go. And someone else may have been really trying to keep you from that, or again, really trying to the image I'm actually getting is like there's some jealousy there, because they're seeing you. I feel that this is somewhat peaceful, meaning you're not like overly emotional about stuff right now. And even though you're feeling conflicted and you're feeling confused and you're feeling maybe even a little bit betrayed by your belief systems a little bit and the way you grew up and the things that, you know, whatever it is that's being challenged in you right now, you're not being like crazy or anything. You're just going through it. You're doing what you need to do in a very mature way, because you know that that's the only really productive way. And this person could really be jealous because they're going through something and they see you not resisting it, whereas they, I believe, are resisting it because they're going through something similar, but they don't want to, and they're like so clinging to their hierophant. They're so clinging to that belief system that it's like it's a lot harder for them, and they don't like to see people being successful in spite of them, you know. Like earth signs are being problematic this month for sure. See, here, I'm so happy. It got really intense and I went on my little tangent, but Two of Cups is a beautiful future for you. It's going to bring you closer to the people that you love. It's going to bring you closer to this new beautiful version of yourself. And if you're single, it's going to attract people that you really are on board with, that you really agree with. You have the same soul and you're both mature, you know, and you both have a higher level understanding of what this life and this world is about. So see, the thing is that I don't see you getting caught up in the pettiness. Like I said, like who's cheating on who, or the finances, the expenses that are coming in that are going to cause stress, that person that's being kind of a jerk, you know, like you're just not getting caught up in that right now. Because you're just like, you're evolving past it, and you're really seeing how in the dark so many people are. And once you realize that power within you is when you emerge and you like feel this light shining out of your, you know, shining out from your core, and you're going to attract the same types of people. You know, light attracts light, darkness attracts darkness, and you are moving into this beautiful light. You're not going to work so hard anymore. Look, there's no reason to work so hard. A lot of people feel like they need to work really hard in order to, oh, I'm getting all the kings, huh? A lot of people feel like they need to work hard in order to have a great life, but it's not really the case. You know, you don't have to work hard. You just choose the things that are worth putting effort and energy into, you know, and you are simplifying your life. And look, the 10s in reverse, and the 10 here, right side up. It's all moving past. It's all like whatever the pain was, whatever it was, whatever the darkness was, you're relieving yourself of that. And you're realizing how you've been so pinned down, right? You were so pinned down, and you were so convinced that that was the right way, and now you're like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. I'm gonna make my life easy. I'm gonna find love. I'm gonna find love within my relationship. I'm gonna make things better. I'm gonna have a more purpose-driven life. Like all of these really beautiful things. There does seem to be someone that you are really afraid of, or someone that you really don't like. Some of you may need to put an end to things. You really might have a kind of a toxic energy that, like I said, they're projecting their issues and their difficulties and their jealousy onto you. It is your job to rise above that. I'm not liking the fire and water kings here. just because they can be confusing and they can be difficult and challenging to work with. And it may bring out, this person may really bring out an ugly side in you, a side that you don't want to bring out, you know, and it's that, you know, I don't know, it's like that this is a card of Scorpio, so it's like that Scorpio energy, that more manipulative, because it's reversed, it kind of takes on some of the negative connotations, so it's like that more manipulative tendencies, or the psychological warfare tendencies. But I don't think you're going to engage in it. I think it's very a positive sign that you're recognizing that this person is kind of actively working against you and doesn't really want to see you emerge as a better person. And then you coming to that realization that you don't need to be pinned down. You don't need to be stuck. You don't need, and seeing you're letting it go already. You're already doing it. It's already happening. It's a part of that death process. It's a part of the Hierophant reverse. And there may need to be some injustice that is done, okay, like a breakup, like a divorce, like telling someone to get the heck out of your life, you know. And is it fair? No, but it's what you gotta do. It's the wave of the universe. It's the way it's pushing you. You can't fight it. The more and more you fight that type of a wave, you know, the more rigid you become, the more impactful it's going to be. It's going to turn into that tower situation where the universe is like, nuh-uh, this is not going to fly. If you're not going to do it, then I'll do it for you. And you get struck by lightning. Okay, so you got to be careful and be really aware that the universe is pushing you in a specific direction for a reason, because it wants you to have this. It wants you to have these beautiful things. It's waiting to give it to you. See, it's waiting to give it to you. And now is the opportunity for you to emerge, right? To remove these pins that have been keeping you stationary for as long as they have. Remove the pins. Rise up like the phoenix and accept love into your life. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, you know. It's just hard, but it's a no-brainer at the same time. You just got to do what you got to do. And we all want to see you happy. We all want to be happy. We all want Two of Cups. We all want love and quality relationships in our life. We want good communication. We want respect. All of it. So it's here waiting for you. And the stress and the pressure of this, no problem. Okay. All right, Cancer. I will leave you with that. I wish you nothing but the best this month. Thank you so much. Bye.